Welcome to a Strong Collectors special report. We've just gotten word of how several Marvel characters are reacting to the upcoming election. Stay tuned for this special report. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors podcast. I'm your host, Dakota. You can tell I'm serious because I have glasses on. I'm here with my co-host, Jordan. You can tell he's serious because he also has glasses on.
That's how we know what we're talking about. It's a symbol of authority.
So like we said in the beginning, we are talking about how Marvel characters are responding to the upcoming presidential election within the United States. We've got listeners from all over the world. We're a huge podcast, a big deal, Jordan. Some say the biggest,
That's right.
One of the best in the business.
No one's ever made a podcast like us before.
First of its kind. We're going to start off. I think let's go. We're going to go back and forth here. We each have several Marvel characters here.
Right.
I'm going to start us off with Emma Frost. Now, it has been said that Emma Frost is supporting Kamala Harris in this upcoming election. Ms. Frost has been quoted numerous times saying that if a country must be run by humans and not mutants, then it could really use a woman's touch. Every crisis, every war, economic downfall has all been on the man's watch. It's time for a woman to step in and take over. So that's what Emma Frost has to say. Times could change, but she seems very firm on this position.
Right. She felt strongly about that.
For sure.
We've heard already, it's been said multiple times by Dr. Doom that he will be interfering in the upcoming election. We're not sure exactly how or what his ends are, but he's made that very clear. There's going to be some foreign hacking, probably getting into some machines. There was also talk of him potentially sending some Doombots to pose as candidates. We're still trying to determine who those might be because at this point, it could be anyone. But stay tuned as we move along there.
It's also, we don't know the exact political affiliation of Bruce Banner, but we do know that there has been a SHIELD battalion really tasked in watching him on election day because the pencils at his polling place have been notoriously flimsy. One of those breaks and he's not able to fill out his ballot, he's going to Hulk out. All hell is going to break loose. So they already have a response team ready for when that and if that would occur. So just be aware if you're in that polling area, we recommend voting early.
I did hear they were planning to provide him with some vibranium pencils this year. So
that's
hopefully those are delivered on time. But we'll have to see. Professor X recently met with Tim Walz, and they actually bonded over their shared experience of losing their hair due to the stress of working in a school. So that was a fast connection there, and Professor X will be using, naturally, his abilities to push for more funding for private schools, particularly in New York, in the Westchester area. Totally unrelated to his school.
Right, yeah. So looking out for the kids as always is Professor X.
That's all he's doing, dude. It's like, come on. And if they turn into soldiers along the way, so be it. You know?
so be it. Child soldier here or there. No one really bats an eye when it's Professor X. Now, this one may take a little context. I may have to post the video down below. Jordan's seen this on numerous occasions, but...
Hey, everybody. These are my two ravens. They're not actually mine. I'm just taming them.
It's because of one single TikTok that Thor has stated his support for RFK Jr. In this said video, RFK Jr. is training some wild ravens that live near his residence. His goal is to eventually get those ravens to eat out of his hand. And to Thor, showing such a interest in these ravens is a sign of a true warrior. And that's how RFK Jr. got Thor's support. Although, again, you know, as an Asgardian, I'm not sure the voting there. I doubt he's going to be able to vote in the election.
The legality,
being a god of thunder, he does have some pull there.
Right. I think he was under the impression Odin may have sent those ravens. So, you know, but they haven't been talking. So I get where Thor's coming from. Magneto, on the other hand, after being promised a lucrative stipend for the Brotherhood of Mutants, he will be endorsing Trump in exchange for using his mastery of magnetism to help finally build the wall. I also think he's doing it a little bit just to spite Professor X, but he won't admit to that.
We do know that Ms. Marvel is going to be supporting Kamala Harris, not only because they share, different pronunciations, same spelling of their first names, I believe, but she is excited to kind of rally with the young people. She's gathered some of her champion team members. They're going to be doing a lot of picketing, going door to door, making sure that people are, number one, just signed up to vote. She's very empowered, being that this is going to be a lot of those younger heroes' first elections.
They've got a lot of TikToks blowing up too.
They do.
From what I've heard.
Very big on social media.
Right. Speaking of someone who actually will not be able to vote, and this is Cable. Apparently he's not making it in because he is stuck in a time loop and will be for the foreseeable future as he's trying to stop the chain of events that have led to where we are today, namely the death of Harambe in 2016. So, unfortunately, we're not sure when he's going to clear that up.
And speaking of individuals who are unable to vote but still are showing their strong support for a candidate, we have Sabertooth. He's strongly supporting RFK Jr., and this is mainly because he was really impressed with the way that RFK Jr. Back in the day was able to behead a beached whale and then drive said beheaded whale on the roof of his car. And that's just, a savage thing to do. Sabertooth really gets behind that. But again, being a Canadian citizen and a felon, he's not going to be able to vote in the election, but he's still out there really campaigning for that type of savagery.
Even Sabertooth was impressed by how he could pull that off. So he's taking notes.
No small feat.
ManThing recently announced he will be endorsing Kamala Harris because he's very concerned with cutting down on fossil fuel emissions and going totally carbon neutral at all costs. He has introduced a new slogan, and it is allegedly going to be, "Whoever doesn't recycle burns at the ManThing's touch."
I like it. I feel like him and Smokey the Bear could really team up to do wonders for our wildlife.
Yeah, he will be going through your trash just to make sure. So look out.
Him and Rocket. I feel like Rocket could do that as well.
Ooh, Rocket could team up.
Being a raccoon.
Get Groot in on that too. Maybe.
Yes,
maybe he'll be part of it.
That would be one coalition for the green world.
I love it.
Next up, we've got Nick Fury. He has pledged his support so far for Kamala Harris, and this is mainly due to the fact that he believes Trump is a bit too much of a national security risk. He's quite friendly with a lot of dictators, and Fury has said multiple times that he thinks those dictators should just be overthrown. We don't need to befriend them. He wants them out, and that's mainly why he's going to be supporting Kamala Harris in the upcoming election.
That's very fair. We did get word that Ultron will actually be teaming up with Trump. This is mainly so he can team up with Elon Musk to take over everyone's minds by putting copies of himself into the Neuralinks. He's very excited about the possibilities of that team up, unbeknownst to everybody else, but we'll see where that goes.
I mean, you heard it here first, folks. You get that Neuralink, you can expect Ultron's voice to be whispering in your ear not long after. We also have word that Punisher is all in for Donald Trump. He's said that there needs to be a much tougher stance on crime, and if the government's not going to be getting involved with it, then the least they can do is get their hands off of our guns so that he can take care of it himself. Also, we have gotten word that Norman Osborn is going to be supporting RFK Jr. as well. This is mainly due to the fact that Trump has beaten him out of several development deals, whether that be business or real estate wise. He's taken too many losses to Trump and mainly just wants to see him lose this election. He wants to see at least a little bit of a balance on the scorecard.
And then finally, we did hear that Captain America is obviously not going to be voting. He's remaining impartial due to not swaying people with his opinion. However, there was a grassroots movement going, and naturally he's going to be the first ever elected write-in candidate this year.
And if you would like to campaign for Captain America or any of your favorite Marvel or DC or pop culture characters, you can check out Daryl Young's Etsy. He's been on the show before. I'll put a link to the show that we did interviewing him. He's got some pretty cool presidential buttons for the different characters. This is just a free plug for him. I think it's cool stuff. Go check that out in the link down below. You can get a cool shirt like Jordan's wearing also from another link in the description below. Make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. And until next time, stay strong.